I think we're in a good place to get started. There we go. That should stops the feedback there. So yeah, welcome on everybody. We're going to be going through FedRocket today. I'm going to share my screen and we'll be on our way. So yeah, just as an introduction, FedRocket is a tool that basically takes you step by step. And the concept is to offer a continuous string of next best steps according to what I've found in my 20 years to be the best setup to get into government contracting. And I've seen just hundreds and hundreds of companies that have wasted years and they've fizzled out because they didn't know these steps. They kind of veered off course and went and did their own thing. But this is kind of just the process. So if you are looking for a process, that's why FedRocket has built the Orbit system. So we're going to go over that today. Questions, just drop in the live chat. I'm going to have a Q&A at the end so you can learn everything. I'm also going to give you the half off coupon code for Ignition Plus, and I'm going to be going into what Ignition Plus is. So here we are on the homepage. So the way everything kind of works, the Ignition regular is free. That's just going to be the business stand-up part of it that I'm about to go into. Ignition Plus has the government stand-up tool added on. So that's the difference there. We also have some kind of like major coaching options here. So I'll go into kind of like why you might want that and if you are, going to benefit from that. And then, of course, as always, GSA services and then some extras as well here. So jumping right in. So once your account is open, this will pop up. This little go to my portal will be at the bottom of the page. I think I'm probably covering it up, but it's a little button and it takes you to your dashboard. So the first section here, there's always like the dashboard page, the progress, knowledge, health, and all that stuff, business assets. The library down here is also really good to know. But what we're going to be going over is the business stand-up first, and then following that, we'll speed through the government stand-up. And this, just so y'all know, is going to be super quick. This is by no means a demo. It's a mini demo. So just want to give you a taste of what everything's about so you can make a good decision on if this will help you. So jumping in, business stand-up is mainly for startups. It's really good for standing up and making sure that you have all the next best steps lined up before you. So you do something, complete an action, you know what to do next, what's the next action, and continue on to the end. It's also actually a really good way to kind of audit or improve your business, even if you've been around for a little bit. So it's not necessarily just for startups. But here, let's go into a really quick walkthrough. So foundation is just like it sounds, the foundation. Every one of these stages has collect, review, develop, approve, and complete. Collect is going to be where you enter some basic stuff. You can see I kept things very minimalist. I don't want you to have to, spend hours and hours to upload stuff. I want you to get a lot of value out of a little bit of entry. So it collects it, it reviews it. You just kind of confirm everything looks right. The development part is where things get really cool and powerful. So your data actually gets dropped into a prompt that's generated, and you can copy the prompt. You can go to whichever AI tool you use. It's pretty agnostic as far as which one. Say you use ChatGPT, you can just click on that and it'll take you right there. I'm not going to do that here today, but you copy the prompt into ChatGPT, it runs through it, and it's going to generate a very specific output that's very specifically tailored to you, your company. And what you do is that output is going to be kind of sectioned out. So the first section will be your business summary, and you drop it in there. Company description, you copy and paste it in there. I know copy and pasting isn't, a super sophisticated way to do it, but it's a very secure way to do it. So that's why we went that way. And it's not very many. You copy and paste them in there. I think there's 6 or 7 of them. And then you publish each one as a business asset. and it goes to your business assets library. So you have a business summary, company description, products and services description, all on down, 90-day roadmap. A lot of these will even have kind of a small checklist of things that you need to do. And the bonus from there is that once you begin this chat in ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, you can continue the chat on that section for the foundation on anything that pops up. Let's say you really, really want to have a tight value proposition. You can take what it's given and start giving it some feedback, ask it questions, and let the chat kind of fine tune that value proposition and make it better and better. Going on from there, once you complete and you publish all of these, they actually just show up. You're finished. This is complete. It's going to be a green arrow right there, and that's done. You move on to the next best step, legal and registration. And here's what that looks like. What's your business structure, and asks you all these questions. Not very many. And it goes through the same exact thing, only it's within the topic of legal and registration. Pretty easy stuff. Same thing. If you don't care about all this and you just want to enter the stuff and move on, do it. If you want to deep dive, do it in the chat. It's there to, go as deep as you want to. And in the end, you end up with business assets that you are actual Word documents you can download and use as you see fit. And they are great for planning sessions. If you do kind of an annual planning or quarterly, you can pick the ones that you really want to work on and use these as kind of the starting point. So it goes on to just your financial foundation, operations, brand and online presence. So this is a really cool one. It will actually build out your website copy. And, ChatGPT, Claude are amazing at doing HTML. So you could even have it build you your website in code, and you just drop it into your server and go that route. Also gets kind of a sales one-pager, so gets you started on your sales process as well, which is really, really, really important for a startup. Why should somebody buy from you? This starts to kind of get you thinking on how to answer that question. Build and grow is just kind of the final stage, goes through selling and then just growth KPIs and planning for growth. And it just kind of takes you to some of the important kind of like final parts of the process to get your full plan in place. This is basically a very easy, quick business planning tool. It's great for startups. In the end, you have all your business assets, and that's about it. So the business stand-up is done at that point. And then if you have Ignition, you can upgrade to an Ignition Plus, and that's going to unlock everything right here and under in government stand-up. So let's go into what the government stand-up tool is. So it is really just meant to do the one thing that I think most companies fail to do when they are starting up or jumping into a new market like federal or just government in general. The one thing is to make money. No business, no money, no business, basically. So go and get money by winning bids, and the rest of it you kind of sort out. If you're a startup, you have a reason why you're a startup. You have personal experience. If you're an established kind of commercial business or a subcontractor, you're very well established and you can deliver on the solution. You just need bids, and you need to get better at bidding and winning and proposal writing and all that stuff. So there's a lot of tools out there. There's probably thousands now that deliver you bids, but there aren't really any tools that I've noticed ever that help you to fine tune which bidding centers are shooting the bids to you. So these are the different bidding centers. This is just your general government profile. And here is kind of the start of it, the federal setup. So this gets you kind of like into the world of SAM.gov. It's federal bids. You don't need anything to get into SAM.gov. You go through the same process, and the prompt here and all of the prompts are really geared towards what you'll see is, finding other areas. So this is kind of the spillover. SAM.gov is the place, and each one of these in state and county and city, they'll have the places that you should go into to establish, receiving bids. But AI is really good for saying, what am I missing here? What are the places, what are the bidding areas that are in my blind spot? And that's what is really, really good for the prompt. And it kind of gets you stood up to receive bids. First federally, then state. And the state tool is really cool because it has all of the state bidding procurement sites, like right here, ready for you to click on, complete, check the box, move to the next one, complete it, check the box. So, this is a pretty big list. I checked a lot of boxes. Most companies are going to be one state, your own backyard, or maybe a few states around there. So this might look like a lot, but think about it. You go into a state area bidding center, you register. That takes 5 or 10 minutes usually, 15 minutes max. So if it's only one state, 5 to 15 minutes. A few states could take 45 minutes. So you're done there, and then you have bids coming to your email forever. And really quick, this helps you stand up. One other thing that if you take anything from this today, that's kind of like a little life hack. This is a good one. Create a government email. So if you have a business email and everything comes to you because you are the business, having a second email where everything that comes in is bid related, that's a really good idea. You're organizing, you're kind of like separating church and state there, and you can check your bid email kind of separately. Keeps things very organized. And it also shows a level of professionalism by having a, gov at, FedRocket.com, gov at yourdomain.com. I like gov because Fed kind of pushes over to federal. GSA or whatever would push towards that specific contract vehicle, but gov could work for state, city, county, federal, even subcontracting could be gov related. So it's a very good catch-all domain to create, and it's very professional, especially if you have it under your company domain. So that's just a little hack. Hopefully that helps. We covered kind of on the state level. You just go here and do all these. Still has the AI to catch the blind spot procurement sites. So you make sure you register in any of them that are missed in this first section. Same thing for city and county. So these are kind of aggregator, BidNet, DemandStar. These are ones that you probably want to get into. As you click in, you'll probably see pretty quickly, like if that's your lane or not. So you can go into all of these if they all are your lane, or you'll probably see some of them, oh, well, this isn't for really anything that I do. I'm going to pass on this one. And then the AI will catch the blind spot. Same with commercial. These are some, very, large commercial bidding areas. And they kind of like are cooperatives and they connect. And same thing with kind of like the prime part of it too. Your prime is actually going to be all on the AI side because the AI is the prompt that's created is going to be, it's going to attempt to find a curated list of the top primes in your industry and any other variables that are important. So you could chat with that a little bit to fine tune it. And then the AI should spit out, the prime, Lockheed Martin. Here's the link to become get into their subcontractor portal. Here's, it'll give you kind of like the rundown of how to get into it. And then comes opportunity optimization. And this is meant to kind of just wet your whistle. This is by no means complete because opportunity optimization, or kind of like the start of the capture planning process, is a lot. And I'm going to kind of go into a minute, like what the plan is there, because the next best step always has to be sitting there in front of you. That's how this system works. So as this is developed, it really is meant to spit out and start to get you thinking on who are your ideal opportunities. Is it a certain agency or a group of agencies? Is it in a location? Is it, based on, a specific type of software that you're an integrator for? Is it, whatever that may be, what is the list? So when a bid comes in from California or Minnesota, wherever, you look at it and you say, okay, this uses Salesforce and we are Salesforce developers. This is located in Minnesota. We work in Minnesota, and so on from there. That's really important. And it ultimately spills into the go, no-go analysis. And this is where, I like the baseball analogy for this. The pitcher throws a curveball, you're going to swing or you're not. Swing is go, not swinging is no-go. And you either hit, you get a hit, you win, or you get a strike, you lose. And a no-go is like, a ball. So if you know a lot about baseball, hopefully that metaphor kind of, I guess, pencils out for you. But the go, no-go is really good because you want a high batting average. And you achieve that by understanding who your ideal opportunities are and having a solid profile. That way you're not swinging for curveballs that are way outside. Those are just, you never had a chance to win those. But if you know your strike zone and it's very, very fine-tuned and you have a really good understanding of it, then you have a really good chance of, you have a really good go, no-go process, and your win rate, your batting average is going to be really good. Something that I just learned is, like, I was reading, what was his name? Ted Williams, a long time ago, like 100 years ago, but nobody's hit over 400. I mean, I'm out of the baseball thing. Maybe somebody has recently, but I don't think anybody's hit over 400 since him. He hit 406, which it does seem like a lot, but that extra 6 was very hard to get. But his strike zone in his head was chopped up into like 74 different ball-sized, just little slots. So when he stepped to the plate, he had a visual map of all that, and he knew the ones he was going to swing for. That's what this should be for you, or at least it should start to get you there. Now, once you have this, you can take it and run with it yourself. But we also have some add-ons for coaching. There's team coaching, there's one-on-one. So if I would say take this and work on it yourself and go after a couple bids. The sooner the better. Just break that seal. But if you're finding that the bidding process is just kind of a little over your head and you need a little help, jump into and get some coaching support. It'll really, really help. And you could just drop right out of the coaching or support once you feel like you're on your way. So that's it. Go back here and go back to the home page for you. So what to do next? Let's just go here. There we go. So back to the homepage. I don't see any questions yet, so go ahead and chat them if you have them. But yeah, what to do next, really, if you're here, this looks interesting. You can jump into Ignition today for $0. That's, as far as I'm planning, free forever. I wanted to make this tool just something to guide a startup through all the build out, the stand up of the business. I never had anything like that. It would have been nice. So that's free for everybody at all times. If you want to move on and get just a fire hose of bids from all of the right places sent your way, that's what Ignition Plus is. It is the government stand-up that I walk through, and it's $39 a month. And half if you use a specific coupon code that I'm going to give you right now. Oh, hey, Max, I'm going over the pricing structure right now. So good timing. $39 a month is, to gain access. To get half off, well, that take it down to whatever half of 39 is, I guess, what, 15, 16, 17.50 a month for the year. You just use half 2026, and half has a capital H, all one word together. It's in the description twice. So if you didn't write it down, just click on the description, and this is going to be posted afterwards. And just know you have until the end of September 30th, to use this coupon code, and then it goes bye-bye forever. Half 2026 with a capital H. So what you would do is you would just join Ignition Plus. You click that. There's a demo right here that in about 3 or 4 minutes runs through a lot of the stuff that I did, that I just went over with you. There's information here on what everything goes through, but you just saw a lot of it. It tells you, you also gain access to the vault of templates, prompts, tools, video courses that are there, and they are always building. Every time I talk to a customer and they have a need, I turn it into a resource and drop it in there. So that's just a resource area that's going to be growing and growing. And if you see something missing, let me know. Chances are it'll be there soon. This does not include the coaching. That's an add-on. This does not include getting a GSA contractor, any of those services. That's also an add-on. So it is basically access to the tool plus the resources vault. And because I'm already subscribed, I'm going to log out. So this is actually let's go back here. So because I was logged in, it was like, you can't join it twice. So here's what it looks like. First name, last name, got to get a username and password and email and all that stuff. Once this is done, this is actually going to take you right there. But you'll want to, of course, have your username and password stored. This is the sneaky little hiding coupon thing. So that's where you would type in half 2026. And then when you did that and you hit join now, you can see it's applied. So $19.50 is the price per month. And cancel anytime. And that's about it. So I left the rest of this time for Q&A, but I don't see any Q&A. So I will just kind of, repeat, what to do and then move on with our day unless you have a question and drop it in there. All you do is you go to the home page. You could actually watch the kind of like video here to get a rundown of FedRocket. This is the orbit system. This is the step-by-step. You organize everything. You recon. You get to bidding. You improve. You build trust over time, and trust is what basically makes it so that buyers want to come to you again and again. That's kind of the long game, the momentum builder. You simply click on this $39 a month, or you can click on Ignition and get on there for free. You can see you just get your login set up and you hit join now. It's $0. And it's month by month. You can cancel inside the system. And yeah, so coupon code goes there. Coupon code can be found in the description. And yeah, so okay, Max, which would you recommend to a small business to get started? So if you're an absolute startup, zero revenue, not much, like your business artifacts aren't really assembled. You don't have kind of like your business plan. You're not sure kind of like the step. You don't have a map. If you want a map, I would just say join Ignition to start. You start with Ignition. It's free. You drop in all of your business information. You get your artifacts, all of your library together, your assets. Then at the end of it, you're actually going to see hey, do you want to move forward? And that's going to offer you the $39 a month Ignition plan. And until September 30th, you're going to be able to use that coupon code. So this is going to get you into all of those bidding areas: federal, state, county, city, commercial and co-op. It'll set up your teaming to get subcontracts, all of that stuff. And like I said, you don't have a business until you're making money. So you can plan out all day, every day if you want to. If I were you, and this is a personality thing, I would probably just jump right into Ignition and I would speed through the business stand-up, get a minimum viable product set up, and maybe say like, okay, I'm going to go in there, maybe once a week and hit one of those. But I'm going to just drop all the information and get it going for now. And then I would just get all of the government bidding sent to an email that I can start scanning and start going after bids. If you're not making money, you don't have a business until you are making money. So that's my 2 cents on it, Max. Hopefully it helps. And that's about all I've got. Really appreciate y'all coming on. Have a great rest of your Friday and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.